on education policy for India.
Dr. Radhakrishnan was a person of many dimensions. He was a philosopher of world order, an educationist, an ambassador, a statesman, and above all, a builder of bridges between nations, between civilizations, and between concepts. Perhaps in the history of philosophy, there was no other individual in which such diverse talents were combined together. I, for my part, in my capacity as a teacher and as a person with an inclination to rationalism and scientific outlook, make a few observations that are major characteristics, as I see, in Dr. Radhakrishnan's outlook and approach. What is remarkable about him is his open-mindedness, his receptivity, and the resilience of his mind, which remained intact till the end of his career. Coming, for instance, to the Hindu view of life, Dr. Radhakrishnan said that we should differentiate between tradition and truth. Truth is unchanging, but traditions accumulate, traditions change. He went a step further. He observed that certain traditions which might appear to be radical and revolutionary at one point of time may become blocks and barriers for development at a different point of time. He cautioned that in what we call the Hindu way of life, or even the Indian way of life, we should be able to discriminate between what is living and what is dead. We should also have the courage to discard what we consider as obsolete in order that the living organism would grow. Dr. Radhakrishnan also made this particular observation. We should not look at the Hindu view of life as a deposit made by our ancestors which we should guard and protect. It is what can be considered as a historically progressing movement, something that is in the making, something that is perennially renewing and changing. This is refreshingly different from the viewpoint of those who consider that all that is ultimate has already been said. Coming to the 20th century, one could point out two dominant forces. One is the force of science and technology, and another is certain political and economic thought. Coming to science, Dr. Radhakrishnan took a very positive view. He said that science is the builder of life. It heals wounds, it cures diseases, and where it cannot cure, it at least mitigates the pain. But at the same time, he observed that the science is not capable of refining the human soul. He felt that you should make use of it where it is strong. As regards education, there are four aspects that I should stress as far as Dr. Radhakrishnan's approach is concerned. One is, as early as the beginning of this century or the earlier part of this century, Dr. Radhakrishnan stressed the need for interdisciplinary approach. He said that there is no justification for having different centers of arts and centers of science. One should complement the other, and together they should make a substantial contribution to human progress. Secondly, he said, education is a change agent. Education should not support individual privileges. Individual privilege, he said, is inimical to excellence. Similarly, education should not call for conformity. Conformity is a negation of change. Absence of change is absence of progress. He said that the university campus should be thought of as a place where you promote liberty of thought, investigation, innovation, and programs for bringing about what can be considered a better order, a better society. Another aspect concerning education, about which Dr. Radhakrishnan has made certain significant observations along with his colleagues in what we refer to as the University Education Commission report, is concerning the affiliating university system and the examination system that we have in this country. The Commission felt that what we then called the purely affiliating university system and the examination system were the two great weaknesses of the university education in India. If you consider the affiliating university system, it denies a faculty member his rightful share in the choice of candidates, in the prescription of curriculum and syllabi, in setting the question paper, examining him and declaring the results. In other words, it reduces him to a mere tutor. Secondly, as far as the examination system is concerned, it's not something that is capable of testing the creative ability of the individual or the capacity of the individual to apply knowledge to new situations, as the case may be. As a matter of fact, the Kothari Commission made some attempt to rectify some of these defects pointed out in the report of the Commission, of which Dr. Radhakrishnan was the head. The new educational policy, formulated in 1986 again, makes endeavor to ensure that some of these changes are brought about. At a time when we are celebrating the centenary year of Dr. Radhakrishnan, at least we may possibly dedicate ourselves with a determination that these two major reforms, one, the reform in our affiliating university system, and two, reform in our examination system, may be brought about. Perhaps if we achieve this, we might possibly have made a great contribution towards improving higher education and research in India.